Hello and welcome everybody. Small loop again today. This is the Cluster API Node Bootstrapping working group. We're a working group in the Cluster API project, and as such, we adhere to the CNCF Code of Conduct. We just be friendly to each other. We don't talk over each other. And if someone doesn't stop talking, like me right now, and you want to say something, just raise your hand, please, and I'll make sure you get your time. Let's get started with a small introduction round. And we have someone new today. Kartik, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hey, hi everyone. So I'm Karthik. I work as a software engineer in IBM. So I'm a contributor and maintainer of the Cluster API product IBM Cloud. And yeah, working around Cluster API for past couple of years. Also, I was tracking this ignition from a very long time, and also I had a chat with Johan some time back regarding the status, and he shared me the document. So I was not able to make it to the meeting, but yeah, I think I'm trying to make sure that I'll be here from next time. Yeah.
Awesome. Not sure exactly where you're located. I hope the new slot makes the whole thing a little easier for you.
Yeah, so I work from Bangalore in India.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of on the late side for you, but I guess that's okay. We actually moved
Ah,
it earlier. It was even later than it is right now.
yeah. So I was following that. So you were unavailable for the next hour. So it was by 1 hour, right? Yeah.
Okay,
Ah, it
cool.
should be fine for me.
Nice.
Awesome. I'll actually share the link to the agenda in the meeting chat so people can just register their attendance. It's always great to see who's there. And we're through with the welcome. Johanna is a regular who's driving the project. Let's share the screen. Very short agenda today. And maybe it's worth going through
Tilo,
the.
do you want us to introduce ourselves to Kartik, or maybe
Oh,
we all know
right.
each other already? I don't know.
Sorry. Yeah, please go ahead. That's actually.
We can make it very brief. Tilo and Yohanan, we both work for Microsoft. I guess that's it.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm more of a operating systems person, working in a Flatcar container Linux project, which is the CNCF's only Linux distro. And Johanna, what about you?
Yeah. So yeah, same here. I'm also here with my very unofficial Flatcar hat. I'm not a regular Flatcar maintainer, but I'm a collaborator in this context. So yes, and to date, I'm the main or maybe the only person driving the
Mhm.
implementation part of what we're working on. I was also the main person working on the design, even though there's been quite a lot of prior art and a lot of collaboration with various maintainers and contributors in design documents, etc. There were multiple of those, but now we're trying to sort of consolidate, and this work was the result of that process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna share the agenda. Here we are. We've done the introduction, and let's go to the housekeeping. So we had, let me see, two open to-dos. Matt actually reached out to me shortly before this meeting. He's off today. He's with his family. He still continues to work himself into the work in progress branch that we have. That's actually a good opportunity to show this to Kartik. So we have a work in progress branch. It's not the main branch, it's Johannan's development branch in this repo. So it's in the Flatcar org. And it's Cluster API Bootstrap provider kubeadm ignition. It's linked from the agenda doc, so it's relatively easy to find. And this is basically where the main work of the both the ignition kubeadm Bootstrap provider as well as the Bootstrap provider separation currently happens. Johanna has been doing.
Actually,
Yeah, go
sorry,
ahead.
small correction. The separation part is in a separate branch because this is core copy work. I just pasted it in the chat.
Cool.
The my basically my my work in progress branch on my fork of core copy. So the separation work happens there. The more interesting parts of the code so far is in that branch. And so far, you're not seeing any sort of connection between the working progress branch on core copy and the new repository that Till just showed. The reason is that I'm working locally using our tilt dev workflow, and I'm basically referencing the two, like combining the parts using local directories. But eventually what we're going to do is we're going to push and merge changes to core copy, and then we're going to basically import them using Go imports, proper Go imports in the repository. Right now, what I'm doing is basically a replace directive in go.mod. So just to clarify why you don't see how these two parts combine.
Those are great resources. I just put them on top in the agenda, so we have them. Good stuff. Okay. Yeah. So this is basically where I think Matt also is ramping himself up. This is the Bootstrap provider separation work. And we're actually actively looking for new contributors. So if you're interested in jumping on that and helping out, we have a pretty solid base. We have a development workflow, which wasn't straightforward with Flatcar because it requires like a whole virtualized environment for development. Flatcar configuration happens at first boot from the init.rd, so you can't really run well under Docker and expect everything to work. So Johanna invested a lot of work fleshing that out, and we're using a KubeVirt environment now. And we actually have a few patches in Core Cluster API, also in the documentation, to have this documented, how to set this all up. So that's where we are right now. The other to do in the housekeeping was reschedule a meeting. That is pretty much done. Yeah. So before we go to the main topics, I'll briefly circle back here to the Ignition Bootstrap provider. So even though this is in the Flatcar org, this isn't really like a Flatcar container Linux project. So Kartik, if you or anyone else wants to collaborate, it's very, very easy to pull you into that repository and to make you a co-owner of that repo, so you can basically go ahead and hack. So if you're interested, just ping one of us, Johanna or me, on Slack. We can easily onboard you there, so you have basically all the access that you need to that repo.
Yep, yeah, you definitely can count me in. So yeah, I will be contributing, and I think yeah, I will be getting started from today, right after the meeting.
That sounds good. But the only reason this is in the Flatcar repo is because we didn't want to put it in a personal account. And we're even trying to just bring it to a point where it can easily be upstreamed to the Kubernetes GitHub org, which is the ultimate goal. But since we don't have a committer or maintainer access to that org, the work's currently happening here. We're trying to align this as good as we can to upstream Kubernetes. So upstreaming the whole repo and the changes would be frictionless. All right. Now, anything you want to discuss? Johanna, any news?
Yes, so that's actually related to onboarding. So Kartik, if you onboard yourself, or if anyone else is watching the recording and wants to join, I'm currently in the process of rebasing my
sorry,
core.
actually, I lost the word.
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, I was unable to hear you now. Can you? Yeah, I
Can you
can
hear me
hear you.
now?
Yeah, sorry. There are some stability issues. Yeah.
Hilo, did you hear that too?
Yeah, good now.
It's I have that with my folks from India as well. It's sometimes you have connection issues. We just repeat stuff and be a little slower, and then
I was trying to understand if you heard me, if I broke up for you as well, to figure out
no,
if
it
it
wasn't
was on
your
my
end.
end.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
No problem. I'm gonna repeat. So, what did you want to say? So, Kartik, in case you are gonna onboard yourself, or if someone else is gonna watch the recording and try to onboard, please know that right now I'm working on rebasing my core copy branch on top of current main. The reason that's important is that because we have V1 beta 2 introduced lately, and the rebase is not trivial because I've implemented the changes so far in V1 beta 1. So in order to rebase, I'm actually forced to move to V1 beta 2. The reason is that beta 2 is now used in parts of the code that we're building upon but not modifying. So initially, Matt, if you're watching that recording, you and I talked about keeping things in V1 Beta 1 now and then transitioning later. Turns out this is not a very good idea because it's actually more work to keep things in V1 Beta 1 right now, since most of the code seems to have been moved already to V1 Beta 2. So while I'm rebasing, I'm basically copy pasting my new changes to V1 Beta 2. And from now on, once I'm done with the rebase and once I've pushed it, then this is going to be what we're going to build upon. So yeah, two birds, one stone, I guess. And to anyone onboarding, including yourself, Kartik, just know that in the upcoming days, I don't know exactly when, but I'm going to be pushing a significant change that will basically move things around, even though the internal logic of like the provisioner abstraction, which is the main thing we introduced in core copy, is going to be the same, just going to be located in a different place in the code base. So I guess you can start looking at stuff, but please anticipate significant changes.
So that would be here, right, for this repo?
Yes, correct. The main change, if you go to API, yep. No, I'm sorry, Bootstrap, because that also changed in the rebase.
Yeah.
They moved, yeah, Bootstrap, and then I think PBNDM, yeah, API. Yeah, so right now there is V1 Beta 1, but V1 Beta 2 is not there. The path for this whole directory structure has been moved already in main. You don't see it right now because you're on my dev branch. So basically that's one thing that changes. And inside V1 Beta 1, there is kubedm config underscore types.go. This is the main file where we're doing changes, and then a whole bunch of other files that get modified or sort of derivative changes from that main change, type conversions, test cases, stuff like that we need to fix. And there are also some small changes in, it's not exactly main, but one of these sort of higher level calling parts of the code where there is some wiring changes that we do. We need to explicitly specify which provisioner to use. I think that's the main thing. And then, yeah. And then in the new repository, basically when you use tilt to bring up your environment, then if you don't do anything special, the code will just consume the normal CABPK without the ignition modification. So you basically need, or no, sorry, if you use my branch, there is actually the replace directive hard-coded there. So anyway, like I said before, we basically need to locally reference the changes in your local clone of my core copy feature branch in order to use that with the new controller that is the new repository under the Flatcar org. So if that was hard to follow, I guess people can play it back in the recording and figure out exactly what I was just saying there.
Awesome. Okay, that's cool. Right. Any other topics?
No, none from me.
Kartik, anything from your end?
Yep. So regarding this V1 Beta 2, right? So recently in CAPI IBM, we have migrated to V1 Beta 2, the Alpha one. So if there's anything I can help out, I can do that as well. So there's some changes we have already done. So one more question I had is that regarding the communication, right? So where does this communication regarding this working group goes on? Is it in the cluster API channel, or do you have anything specific?
But I think before, as long as it works for us, we can use the Cluster API Slack channel in the Kubernetes Slack.
Yeah, sure.
At some point, if we, should we at some point have too much traffic there, we can actually move the discussion to the Flatcar channel, who's also on the Kubernetes Slack. So it would be like almost seamless for folks, but I mean, we don't have much traffic there for the Bootstrap provider. And I think for the time being, it would be cool if people would see that there's actually, things going on. So ping us there and let's chat there. Also, you're in a pretty beneficial time zone with Johanna, so you folks should be able to collaborate even better than with the EU folks.
Yep, sure.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
so far you shouldn't expect a lot of like communication history or anything, since I've been so far the only implementer. Then most of my communication was with myself, and myself and I are usually in agreement, so not a lot of arguments usually. Yeah. But we can use the channel, and you can also DM me on Slack. I don't work with Slack open usually because I use Teams, but I usually get an email notification or something if someone tags me or DMs me. So in a matter of hopefully hours, if it's a working day, I should get a response from me. And then if I know we're actively communicating, I can stay on Slack.
Sure, sure.
I think that's it, Taylor, right?
Awesome. Yeah. I don't have any new to-dos.
Yeah, so last question from my side.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, for me to get started, I think I need to go through these repositories and that the KubeVirt implementation to try it out, right? To just to get familiar with the things.
What did you say? Sorry, can you repeat the last part about KubeVirt?
Yeah, so you told that we can use KubeVirt to experiment on
Yes.
this ignition one.
Yes. So basically in CoreCAPI, if you just clone CoreCAPI or update to current main, you should have a make command. What is it? Make kind dash cluster dash kubevirt. That's already
Okay.
there. If you use that to bring up your dev environment, you can follow the normal CAPI quick start for bringing up dev environments. So use this flavor and not the default flavor without kubevirt because that is capd. It's based on Docker. So the Docker provider, which isn't compatible with Ignition. And then let's see, I'm trying to remember if I have like specific instructions for this work group, like, because these are generic for CAPI. You will need to edit your, what's it called now? Tilt settings.json or YAML. You'll need to edit that, and because you'll quickly see that you get errors if you don't set up some variables. Some of them are specific to this workflow, but they should be sort of self-discoverable because things are loudly shouting at you if you don't set them up. What else? I guess if something doesn't work for you, just ping me and I can share my settings file with you or something. But right now, I don't recall that I documented the specific workflow that we are using right now for this effort. But it's basically generic with some modifications because we're using Ignition. Other than that, if you've ever developed any CAPI feature, core CAPI feature, or any provider, that's probably a similar workflow.
Sure, sure. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. All right. I don't want to stop any discussion. So if you have anything else, Kartik, please absolutely feel free to share.
I think for now, for today.
All right. Yeah, next meeting is I think early July. So we meet the first and the third Thursday of the month. And that should be the first Thursday of July when we meet. I'll append this in the agenda so we have a concrete date. If you want to follow those meetings, Kartik, we have a Google Calendar that has all the meetings in it. And this also gets updated if a meeting gets canceled or if you move the slot. Also, there's an iCal which you can import in your favorite calendar app, and then you have it always on your calendar.
Sure.
Actually, regarding next meeting, I might be unable to attend. I don't know yet. There's a lot of uncertainty right now because of my current security situation, but there is a chance I'm going to have a medical appointment that is full day on that day. So if that happens, I'll try to update in advance, and then we either move or you guys, whoever shows up, meet without me. Both are fine with me.
If you give me on information, I'll make sure to represent you in the meeting. No problem.
Yeah, thanks a lot. All right.
Cool, folks. Yeah, no to-dos for today. Looking forward to onboard more folks to the project. And have a great time. See you on Slack or in early July.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, folks.